Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Persona 4. This will, I think, in all good conscience, I think this will be the last episode before the final bits of the game. Have I completely screwed myself over with regard to social links? I'm gonna be brutally honest, folks. I'm pretty sure that I indeed have. Because I think if I wanted to get Aya Bihara's social link to 10, then I think it would have to be 9 right now. Because you only have, really, until, like I said before, the 22nd. If you don't complete Magatsu Inaba by the 22nd, shit gets real. You don't get the Lover Christmas call, which is fairly important. I will be trying to show off, unless I'm wrong on the date, in which case, that's a big old whoops. But I think that's right, and I don't think Eri is going to be available to hang out with until, what, Friday? Something like that. And Friday's a no-no. That's way too long. The game will be a game over by then. So that one's done. I foobarred that one. So what the only thing I really can do is either go to the TV world or pray at the shrine. And I'm going to try and salvage this. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to try and salvage this last-ditch social link effort. In all likelihood, what all this will accomplish is for you guys to see just a little bit more of the story. I do think we're going to miss the Social Link 10 dialogue in the final boss fight with Ai, but I'm sorry. I tried to do too many social links with poor time management and just going from one to the other, never really thinking about what I was doing like I normally would. Yeah, but we are going to see a new social link, so hopefully that's a little better. You actually be able to see the tower social link. I know. Shocking.
I'm Shu Nakajima.
Nice to meet you. I'm only going to see you the one time, and then I will never come back. I'm not joking. I'm never coming back. So I hope you learn quickly, kid.
Mom!
Okay, well, his mother's proud of him. I can understand that. Parents have a right to be. I'm kind of getting an undertone here that she pushes him to study way more than he really wants to. But of course, I think most of all our parents did that, or maybe that was just mine. I would think parents probably might want to do that, but I'm not going to give anybody out there parenting advice. I don't know anything. I'm not a parent. Of course, we might actually get to studying at some point in the near future if she decides to let us go. Yeah, I can't believe I'm ever going to say this. I don't particularly like Shu. No, not the shoe on your feet. I mean this shoe right here. I don't particularly like Shu as a character, but I do like his social link a lot. Actually, I guess I shouldn't say that. Shu reminds me a lot of Aya Bihara, who in the beginning I don't really like, but towards the end of it I do like the character a lot more. Yes, that's my name. That's good. I wouldn't want to go there either. I mean, I'm the one leading the school in test scores. That's gotta say something. It's not a very good school. You know, this could have been a nice civil discussion. You had to go and say, well, you were the only one. Meaning, you didn't really want me, but I love the option here. Oh, wow, you're a little prick. Don't say that. That must remain professional. Nice to meet you, even if it's not.
Same here.
Always try and remain professional. If the kid is being a jerk, and I've tutored kids before, it's not always easy, and sometimes they do indeed have this attitude. You have to be the adult. If you go down to their level, you will never, ever get respect. In all likelihood, I would probably be best off teaching him in real-life math. I'm very good at math. But I think English is one of those subjects in Japan that are, like, really difficult, so we'll go with English. I don't want to be stereotypical and say PE.
That's fine.
You're a nerd, you need PE. No, don't do that. Stereotypical judgments are very rarely ever a good idea. I am sorry I didn't really get around to this social link as early as I could have, but, I mean, 6 understanding that's a tall order. If you're just starting out, it's a lot easier to do like a flawless social link run on New Game Plus. Of course, on New Game Plus, you don't need all these attributes they're giving you right now, but, well, I mean, you can start this a lot earlier. All those nights we had to go up and fold paper, or we had to do this, or had to do that, we could have been going here, we could have been going to the hospital a lot sooner, we could have been, you know, all those things. Basically, in a nutshell, just saying what I just said. Just explaining it in a more in-depth fashion. But Shu is a nice kid, he's just a little blunt, and I totally understand that. I was actually kind of like that in school myself. I mean, it's not a good idea to just go and say whatever you feel like without regards to other people's feelings, but yes, I know you're annoyed. I'd be annoyed too if someone just made me study for hours. Oh, but it always pays to try and be nice to people, even if they're not to you. Because who knows, one day, maybe you will need their help, and if you acted like a dick right back to them, well, then you're not gonna get anything, are you? That's a very cynical way of looking at it, I know, but... Oh, you ready to drop another subtle hint, You sure you don't want to just put up a big billboard saying you need to go to the dungeon, you moron, I mean, I know, the game's trying to... For the people out there that, I guess, are even more forgetful than me, which I have a hard time believing people out there are like that, but I guess there could be people that... Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not going to ask you to be in my battle party. I am going to make a change in my battle party. Just so we all know, so... I don't know for how long, but I did go through the effort of training up 2 other characters, so I do have more options in the final boss battle. We'll be getting into that a little bit later, though, because one viewer in particular said it would be, it'd be nice to see another one, and I did train them. Now this, I think I can get away with this, so yes, I'm going to do so. Problem is, it's pretty much a lost cause, because tomorrow we have to go into TV World. There's no way possible we can get to level 10. I wish I didn't have to utter those words, but I think it's true. Yep, into the world. The world's ending, the sky is falling, said Chicken Little. Or, was that Chicken Little? I don't know my literature very well. I don't know my children's literature as well as I once did when I was 3 years old. I know. It's a vast void of knowledge that I should already know at this age. Okay, what was this question? Oh, well, the answer I would personally give is not exactly friendly to all ages. A gyrating woman. Okay, so... I don't know. I'm gonna logic that her hat, that's probably not a good thing to say. I think it's a sign of royalty due to her headpiece there. That, and she always, I mean, was that her brother in Persona 3 that wore the samurai helmet, or was that her cousin? I don't remember the... Yeah, anyway, this whole family seems to adore certain eras of history, and hers seems to be the Egyptian. At least I'm gonna guess. I might be just ignorant, but... Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to logic out, as long as you don't get too caught up on gyrating. Usually when you hear the words, a lady and gyrating in the same sentence, it's not about royalty in this day and age. But we need to get our heads out of the gutter, because the gutter will not actually help us actually answer questions like that. As appealing as it can be to be there. Not too practical. So, level 9 social link, if I remember correctly, this takes a very dark turn very quickly. Again, it's like a roller coaster of a social link, I know. Okay, well, apparently she knows the senior, and the senior seems to know her in the past. I'm guessing they were maybe together, perhaps, in the, earlier in the school year, maybe. Judging by what we know now. I don't like speculating on other people's personal lives if I don't know everything, but I mean, judging by what we know, that's what we're gonna have to assume here. Oh, shut down, and she doesn't even know you're there. But at least she is somewhat protective of our image. That has to say something about how she feels, right? She's not the most honest about her feelings. We know I by now. You know, you are a very...
Huh?
You know, I don't say this very often, but there are people that I would like to strike. I just don't do it. Because I have more impulse control than, you know, a second grader. It's an art that I perfected throughout the years at school. And, you know, stuff's going down when that music comes up. I think this is where it gets really dark. This guy has some issues, I'm not sure with what at this point in time, but you can tell he's got some issues to work out. Okay, this is getting really, really bad. Threatening to have a gang beatdown now? Or even worse, you know, the other gang. It doesn't start, the next word doesn't start, actually I guess the next word does start with the B, never mind. Let's just see what happens. No, don't just see what happens. You can't just walk away after. You can't just sit there going, I want to see what happens now. No, we're helping her. What kind of person would just sit there and go, I don't want to get involved? I guess the kind of person that just does not want to get involved in a bunch of trouble. But I mean, if you're the kind of person that won't stand up for your friends, I don't know if I really want to know you. That probably sounds very discriminatory and judgmental, but I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it. Oh, well, that's... Oh my. Okay, he has some serious problems. Apparently with, I don't know if that's with Aya Bihar, if that's with women in general, who that's with, but... I think he's just disappointed that he didn't get what he wanted. In a childish display, he did that. Are you alright? That had to hurt, that was loud. You know, normally I would not be smiling after getting smacked in the face. The old Aya Bihara would have been more concerned with, you know, how that would make her face look. Is it going to bruise? Is it going to do that? And she would just be running away in all likelihood, and just so we wouldn't have to, so we couldn't see her face. It was like a reflex. So your reflex is to protect me. That's an interesting thing. I know somebody's gonna say, well, she is worried about how her face looks. I think anybody that just got smacked that hard is gonna go, I wonder if my face is gonna swell up. But this is a different person than the we once knew. Which is why I really enjoy this social link, but I know when I first started the social link, you probably got the impression I just did not like the social link at all. I just don't like the beginning of it. Because I reminds me a lot of myself. I wasn't quite as rude, I was more quiet, but I wasn't afraid to shy away from...
See you again.
You know, if someone said something to me, I wasn't just gonna sit there and take it. I usually stood up for myself. I just wasn't quite as callous as she can be during conversations. Can we actually get where we can work as a janitor? I don't want to go as a janitor. I would rather... What am I gonna do? I could fold paper, but I don't need to fold paper anymore. If this is Naruto again... It is. Of course it is. With the same message. Yes, thank you. We know by now. The game does not need to keep telling us this. What am I going to do? I mean, I could go to sleep, but that'd be a waste. Anything I do right now is a waste. I'm like, well, we haven't read in a while, might as well read. I miss from Persona 4 Golden. Well, not miss. I played that after this, but I got spoiled in Persona 4 Golden where I think you can choose what you want to read when you want to read. I don't remember if that's right or not. I just remember being able to choose what book you want to read. A lot more in depth. in that version, but I never really got a chance to finish Persona 4 Gold now that I think about it. I saw the new social links, that's about all. Before I kind of just got absorbed with other stuff. Now, there is something else that you might want to know. During the last 3 minutes of this video, I actually lost the in-game audio. You're gonna notice it anyway, but I just thought you might want to know that in case you go, what happened to the... What happened? I did my best to try and cover it up. I'm not sure if it's the most skillful editing job you ever saw, but I'm trying. It gave me good experience anyways, the improvisation on the spot. Oh yes, these two. The people that think this is the internet. Well, I don't think they're going to last that long after we fix the whole situation. I have a feeling they're going to get beat up quite badly. If they don't actually adjust their attitudes once the fog clears up. I mean, I can understand their viewpoints. Yeah, you don't have to see anybody, you can just say whatever you want, but that's a very selfish way of looking at things. Oh, what now? What? Class is still in an uproar. Has there ever been a day during this month that the class has not been in an uproar? I know that is a hyperbole, but it just seems like every other day this music comes on. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever actually waited this long. The only reason I know that the 22nd is the last day is because I'm going to be honest again here. I kind of looked it up so I didn't screw myself over royally. I wanted to have as many days as possible to try and get the social links done. But I failed. To both social links at 9, I could not get them to 10. I think I wasted one too many days with the... I don't know where I went wrong. I went wrong somewhere. Probably many places. I can't really point out one in particular. But today we will, in fact, be going to TV World. There's no more going around it. Well, what kept me is I was trying to get another girlfriend, Yosuke, okay? That's what kept me. Did you know my shoe size as well? Anyway, yeah, I thought about going and then I'm like, well, wait, no. I need to go shopping first. This is integral to my battle plan. Why is this integral to my battle plan? Because I plan on fusing a lot of personas. Well, not a lot, but I plan on fusing a few important personas, and those cost a bundle to get back from the compendium, like upwards of like 50,000 last I remember. And to get the necessary monetary value for that, we're going to have to sell a bunch of stuff. And I forgot about this. The loud clang, clang, clang. Couldn't you have just like did that once and then made a list of, I made these for you? I guess it was the limitations of the hardware at the time. Hopefully with the new Persona, they'll do that. They'll have the same like method of getting items, but they'll just do the one clang, 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 and come up with a list of, I made this, and this, and this. Thank you, that was much more concise. I didn't really need to know, one by one, what you used. Though I suppose to be fair, I guess the reasoning is that if you use a love clasp or whatever, one of those materials where I wasn't really paying attention, you know that's what you need for a future playthrough if you want that particular item, I guess was the reason. I can see the reasoning, I prefer a more streamlined experience, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to be looking for something for Teddy here, because Teddy was what, pardon my using your name if you didn't want me to, but Gaming Reaper asked me to, you know, use in battle, and it was either train Kanji or Yosuke, and I don't particularly like Yosuke's character as much, so I used Kanji in my battle group, so what do I want to use? I mean, that's not a bad shield for Kanji, or not shield, that's not a bad weapon for Kanji. So I shall be doing that, getting that endurance. Isn't really bad for Kanji. Kanji's one of those characters that you don't really want to get magic damage. Like I remember, excuse me for hitting that, I remember one particular weapon Kanji gets is like plus 20% electric damage. I would not really try and gear him up for that. I mean, he's a decent mage. He's like Chie for lightning. You don't really want to make that your main focus. And I guess we'll go with Bear Claw. I mean, I'm not going to be trying to swing with Teddy too awful much. He's mainly going to be a mage / healer, if I remember his moveset and his playstyle correctly. If I remember right, I think he's rather squishy, he dies easily, but he has a lot of really good moves. I think he gets Meteoron, Amrita, Ma Tarukaja, Ma Rakukaja, Ma Bufudine. He gets a lot of different stuff. It's actually quite difficult to choose what you want to make of him as a character. He's one of those characters that's not really pigeonholed into any one role because of his maneuvers, like, say, Kanji is. Kanji's kind of just a pure physical attack with some lightning. That's pretty much what he is. It's just usually I choose Yukiko over Teddy because I just like Yukiko's character a little more. I love Teddy as a character, don't get me wrong. But while we're getting equipped here, hopefully I'm not just distracting you from what I'm equipping. I just don't see the need to go, I'm equipping Paladin armor on so-and-so and, you know, red battle armor on Kanji, whatever. You can read, I hope. If you can't, I'm sorry for your loss. Continuing on, because, well, that's... yeah, anyway. I think I know I need to go back to the other store. Bad, Barak. Don't be impatient, that's bad. Okay, so what am I going to be buying here? Well, I'm going to be stocking up on some stuff that I never really ever think about stocking up on. Chief among them being maca leaves. Maca leaves, if you're not familiar with them, I think they restore, what, 200 HP to everybody, and a lot of people go, that's kind of a waste of money at this point, isn't it? I mean, everybody has so much health now. Well, yes, it could be construed as a waste of money. But the other stuff, obviously, is just putting everything up to 20 because I have OCD. I probably should buy more of these, like the Dokudami teas, stuff like that, because, well, the final boss fight has a lot of status effects, and I'm going to need a lot of them. But maca leaves are for the times whenever normally I have Chie and Naoto. They can't heal whatsoever. If my main character and Yukiko are both silenced, which can happen, it's really nice to have them both throw maca leaves up, and that's basically the same as, what, 2 Meteoramas? Like, one maca leaf is 1 Meteorama around. So, you know, that will keep you alive in a tight spot. So, that's my reasoning on the maca leaves. They're expensive as all get out, but... hey, what's your life worth to you, right? I'd rather pay a little bit of money now than die later, horrifically, and have to restart an hour boss battle over again. That's just my thinking. I don't know about yours. Actually, have we talked to these people yet? I went a little bit too fast, or I'll come back to him in a minute. Yeah, I see these gentlemen are fine public speakers. Is that Rito or Raito? I know you love harem manga, man, but you gotta have some limits. For those of you who aren't aware of who Rito, whoever that is, go read To Love Ru. Do it now. But be aware, it's one of the more
Let's go.
Risque. It's one of the more risque manga that's still not quite H. It's darn near, but not quite. It's up there. But yeah, to do this I had to record twice the way I'm doing this. And I was going to go, at this point, basically going grinding a whole lot. So, yeah, I will be back here. Well, not will be back. We'll be going continuously flowing, but since I'm doing this in post-commentary. But now we're going to be into my fusing after all of that grinding. We're going to be fusing Satan with Cert, Horus, and yeah, that thing. But Satan is one of those persona that if you get something that has absorbed wind, it is fantastic because you can't really hurt Satan. This is also the point where obviously there's no in-game sound. Not at all. The music is gone. All of it is gone. But I wouldn't deprive you of these. Now, I did skip the statistic gaining and all that, but I'll show you exactly what each persona got So you don't worry, like, I didn't see what they got. You can't just skip that. I'm not going to skip it, just will hold your horses. And this was also audio gone. But yeah, this is our lineup. Chie is now still 73. Yukiko still 73. Kanji's now 70. And I believe Teddy is... What is Teddy? Naoto's 76. And Teddy is... I think 67. He's not as high a level as I would like him to be to go into this final, dungeon boss fight. Not final dungeon, but this late dungeon boss fight. But he's pretty decent. I mean, I'm going to take over main healing duty at times with Meteoron, but I mean, he can do some decent damage. He has Mataru Kaja. I think Kanji has Raku Kaja, so we have a lot of buffs right there, and I have Masuku Kaja. So I'm pretty sure I can pull something out, pull something off here. During my grinding, Teddy was basically my only healer, and we ran 3 DPS, 1 healer. I might try and do something like that with the next boss fight, actually. But yes, Satan here has Invigorate 3 and Regenerate 3, meaning he is a very good longevity character if you're in a long fight, and he has no weakness since I eliminated his wind weakness. And of course we have old-fashioned Thor, one of my favorite persona in all of the series, because he was a boss in, I forget what game he was a boss in. He kicked my butt though. Thor, Loki, and Odin. Now, you're probably going, I see a pattern here. Thor, Loki, and Odin. You read too much Marvel comic books, don't you? No, contrary to popular belief, there are Norse mythology that they actually were in before. And no, it wasn't because of that either. The reason I had Odin in my party is just because I use him a lot in Persona 3, and I have soft spot for him in 4, so there's no logical reason I have Odin in my party in this, but that's the way it is. Thank you guys very much for watching as always, and you may feel free to share on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you use, and as always again, feel free to like or even subscribe for easier access to future content. Thank you for watching everyone. Farewell.